Hi, good afternoon. Welcome to Coffee Chats. No, it's a chat with one, it's a singular chat today. So welcome to Coffee Chat. I'm your fill-in host, Joshua Jackson, and today I am joined by an amazing guest, Rhian Beever, and we're going to talk about Neepawa's Got Pride. So Rhian, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
So Neepawa's Got Pride coming up. Can you tell me a little bit about how this event got started and when it got started?
Sure. So we came together as an organization last year in the fall time and kind of knew there was a need to have a pride group here, as there is a fairly large community that's unrepresented, let's say. And things kind of started to snowball and got traction. And we thought, why not host a pride event that we could all come together and celebrate in one place and, be a visible show that we are here and that we've always been here and that we'll continue to be here.
That's awesome. So can you, first of all, tell me about your event last year and how it went?
Sure. So I think we were quite overwhelmed by how the event went. So we hosted it in September. Pride is a season. Typically it's thought of being held in June, and that's where the majority of Pride events are held. However, we thought if we moved it to the fall, we might be able to kind of extend this season, but also capture people that maybe couldn't make it in June. So September felt like a really good space to land. And what we did is we invited reached out to some local drag queen performers. So we had 3 drag queens that joined us to perform for the day. We had a local DJ that played music through the afternoon. We were able to have some kids activities, as well as host a free barbecue with refreshments for everyone and anyone that came. And also we were able to bring in community organizations that could bring information to the event for people if they're wanting to so access that. And so it just made it really accessible. And I think we were absolutely blown away by the response that we got from that event. Because a lot of people, there was always the thought that maybe this couldn't be something you could pull off in a small town like Neepawa. But the reality is we did, and it went very well. Based on crowd estimates, they figured there was around 250 to 300 people that showed up throughout the day. So I think it's phenomenal, and we're really looking forward to seeing how that progresses this year.
That's awesome. Now, this may get cut out, it may not, we will see. So I know it's no surprise that Neepawa is a quote-unquote conservative town. I know we've seen recently, a few months ago in the papers, some disparaging remarks about the LGBTQS plus community. So in putting on this event, do you guys receive any, hate or derogatory comments, or has the community been very accepting of this?
I think by and large, there's great acceptance from the majority of people. There's always individuals out there that have comments and feelings about our community, but I think we're going to keep showing up. There are people that need to see themselves represented, and those of us that are able to be out and free are able to show them that you can live a life that is full, even though the negative comments in your life may say otherwise. And it's really a big piece of what we were missing as kids, and not having that representation. So I think showing up is our biggest weapon in a way to say that we need to keep doing this. We need to keep being here. We always have the concern that people may, give their comments about how we're organizing this event or what's going on. But a lot of that is from a misunderstanding or false information about but this really is a community event. And if you're open to considering that everybody can exist at the same time, then you're more than welcome to come, and we would welcome people to be there.
Exactly. And it's very disparaging to see people make those remarks and in this day and age still have a negative opinion towards the LGBTQS plus community. But like, I'd like to say, as someone who lived here until 2016 and then just came back this year, I'm just very impressed, and it makes me very happy to see the strides that we've taken. As you said, like growing up, we would never imagine to see an event like this take place in Neepawa, but now we have a dedicated Pride sidewalk and we have events like that. So what does it mean to you to see, I guess, the tides kind of turn, if that makes sense?
I think in a lot of ways it's overwhelming to think that we've been able to progress in the way that we have, because there was always the mindset of you need to fly under the radar and you need to just fit the mold. And I think what we're displaying or allowing people to do is you can feel comfortable in your own skin, and you should feel comfortable in your own skin, and you are welcome in this community, and that you do not need to leave in order to fit in, that there is a space for you here, that everybody belongs. And as we see that progression over time, like I hope that it just gets better, and that the fact that we have to coin these events as LGBTQ plus no longer exists, because it just is part of society that isn't up for debate or isn't a political coin to be tossed, that people just recognize that you have your rights are as equal as anyone else's, that we're not fighting for them, that we're not trying to make sure that we keep them. And that's where Pride comes from, is a protest to gain ground, to have the ground that you have and to keep it. And we're still in that space where we do need to make ourselves known so that we don't lose the rights that we've been able to accomplish over the last few decades.
Exactly, and that's very well put. We will shift gears to happier and smoother seas now. As we've said, you guys are in year 2 of this event, and it is coming up on Sunday, September 14th. So very, very quickly, what can you tell me about this year's event?
So we have grown. We are going to have our same DJ back, who's going to spin some wonderful tunes just as they did last year. Then we will have drag queens coming out of Brandon, also locally, and a drag king that's going to join us as well. So that's pretty fantastic. So we'll have 2 sets that go on throughout the afternoon, and then in the middle of the afternoon we'll have a performance from a singer-songwriter called Jordan Basso, and they'll join us in there. And yeah, I think it's just going to be a really wonderful afternoon as far as entertainment. We have our kids activities back again. So a big popular piece last year was our button maker. Kids absolutely love that. We have face painting, rock painting, and then plus we've got free food and drinks inside. So I think it'll be an excellent opportunity for people to gather, and we hope that we see more people than we did last year. We know the weather always plays a nice little piece in there, but we're looking forward to seeing everyone. As well, we have community booths that are coming in, so out of Brandon and locally, that are going to be there as well. So, and then as one of the organizers of the event, how has it kind of sort of evolved since its first year of being here? Like, you must have gained a lot of knowledge from the first year. So yeah, can you just kind of talk about if anything really has, I guess, changed in a sense, or what you've taken away and are able to apply to this year's Neepawa's Got Pride? Well, that's an interesting question. I think this is my first personal voyage into sort of these sorts of events. I never thought I would be organizing a Pride event ever in my life. It's really quite interesting how things work out. But I think by all means, the process has really been quite organic, and that we've had people involved that have some really good strengths, and we play together well, that we can mold and go in various directions and come with different thoughts that allow us to kind of bring in everybody's perspective, I guess. And then you make sure that you're trying to hit all sorts of areas so that you broaden your net so that you bring more people in, I hope, is what we're going for. But no, it's been an interesting opportunity to network with people, and we've really been able to access individuals that we didn't know who were necessarily allies, and it turns out they are. And I think with allies, they don't always know how to communicate that they are affirming, and having those discussions with them and knowing that they are gives you that boost of confidence to keep going and to, you know, have more discussions with more people and bring more people into your event or into your circle to mold it into what it is today.
And you raised up a very good point, which brings me to a follow-up question. I mean, Neepawa's Got Pride is definitely, as you said, a very good time for allies to come out. How do you feel, as you said, like there were people that you learned that were allies of the LGBTQS plus community? How maybe someone's an ally, but they don't know how to show it. What do you think like would be some good ways for them to show it, in a sense, if that makes sense what I'm asking?
Yeah, so our events are always great opportunities to come to, and I think your presence has a huge implications, because it's a small town, so we know each other, right? And so it's pretty easy to find out who your allies are, who your friends are that would stand up for you. And then, you know, Pride's a real fun time, but there's also the other times of the year where we need people to be present with us. And so having those people out there and in the community and being the voice of reason in conversations that might not always be supportive, and being able to provide context is super important. You know, for allies to show interest in an individual's pronouns, for example, is a really big step to acknowledge how somebody wants to be, like what their pronouns are. I mean, it's just a big sense of self, right? And it's a big comforting aspect to many individuals. You can be at ease. And if you don't know as an ally, I think it's good to speak with somebody that you know within the LGBTQ community, or to have conversations with people who know somebody, or even to do your own research. There's many great resources out there now that are really good access points for allies.
That was very well answered, considering I just kind of sprung that one on you. So Neepawa's Got Pride happening Sunday, September 14th, 1 to 4 p.m. at Arts Forward. We mentioned the event, but we didn't mention when or where. So you guys have a bunch of great local sponsors and partners that are coming forward to help with the event. What does it mean to see the response from the local business community, them stepping up?
Yeah, it's amazing. Without them, we can't do what we're trying to do for the community. And knowing that we have their support for the event, but also throughout the year, that these are safe businesses for our community to go into, it's hard to put it into words, because you're not having to explain yourself or feel uncomfortable in those spaces. And so these are businesses that are working in those spaces to be affirming to the community. And then their support, like I said, we can't pull this off without them. It's absolutely vital to organizations like ours that are very much in their infant stage, in order to grow and get to the place where we would love to be down the road. They are absolutely instrumental in our growth.
And you mentioned what I was actually going to ask next. So taking a look at down the road, maybe we'll say 5 or so years down the road, what do you envision this event, Neepawa's Got Pride, growing into?
Sure. So we would love to see a march in place. It could be next year, it could be in a couple years. We would love to see ourselves grow, that we could provide more entertainment for the community and be able to bring in more individuals who are of the LGBT community and give them an opportunity to perform in a safe space, a welcoming space. And then I think, yeah, those are our big things that we would really love to do, is just grow into a larger event where we're
Mm-hmm.
able to capture more people, and kind of give the last hurrah for Pride of the summer.
Well, that was very well put. Now, I think that's everything that I have to ask. Is there anything else that you'd like to add or mention about Neepawa's Got Pride, the community, just anything that I might not have asked you that you'd like to add in?
I think our biggest thing is we're just looking forward to this event and to see everybody turn out and turn up. It's going to be fantastic. I would invite anyone and everyone in the community to stop on in. There's lots going on from 1 to 4, and we ensure it'll be a good time.
Wonderful. So yet again, that's Neepawa's Got Pride, taking place Sunday, September 14th, 2025, 1 to 4 p.m. at Arts Forward in Neepawa, Manitoba. Rhian, thank you so much for joining me here.
Thank you.
And for this edition of Coffee Chat, I'm Joshua Jackson. Make sure that you go check out Neepawa's Got Pride on Sunday, September 14th, 25th, 1 to 4 p.m. at Arts Forward.